And this army is being promoted by American imperialism in a so-called alliance against terrorism. And what has happened, that both have failed miserably. So whatever they have spent money on curbing the activities of the terrorists, it has brought opposite results. Now, these religious fundamentalists and the imperialists, the two sides of the same coin. But our main fight in Pakistan is not really against the religious fundamentalists. It is against the imperialist aggression, exploitation, occupation, and we always go in field to oppose the American imperialism and their allies in Pakistan. That's how we can really take away the space which fundamentalism has taken in the past on the name of so-called becoming anti-imperialist. Their slogan is death to America. Our slogan is down with American imperialism. So we're not really trying what they are doing over there in different fields. Sometimes it seems that we are raising the same slogans what religious parties are raising. And sometimes, for instance, when we went for this demonstration in support of Palestine, there were also religious groups protesting on this issue. But we have a principle of not joining hand with religious parties. And the reason is that religion should not be part of the politics. It should be totally separate. And those religious parties, whatever slogans they bring forward, democracy, constitution, rule of law, peace, anything, what they say, but ultimately it ends up in their philosophy, in their politics of religion. And when they drive their inspiration from religion, they always bring the whole consciousness backward. And that we have seen that one of the reasons of the backward consciousness among the people is the teaching of these madrasas. And there are over 17,000 registered madrasas which are like religious institutions where fundamentalists are getting a lot of money from Europe, from Saudi Arabia, from the Muslim conservatives all over the world, and they are providing like residence, education, religious education, and these madrasas has become the real ground for these fanatics who go for the suicidal attack. One of our party activists from Kashmir spent one night in a terrorist camp. He was telling me, he was from Karachi University, went to his hometown in Kashmir, and there was a camp over there where there was around 13 students, and a young mullah was there. And this mullah was preaching like this: what life this life has given to you? This is no life. This is a life for the time being. The real life is after death. So you have to achieve the real life. And to achieve the real life, you have to do something. And you have to leave this life for a better life. And if you do that, then you will go straight to heaven. And he was making such impressive appeal that our comrade told me that I also thought I should also be doing something. I should also maybe go on the same line. So they are really educated young activists who are motivating 13 years, 14 years, 15 years young kids to go for these suicidal attacks. Now I will just say a few words on the present government of People's Party. It's now in 2 years in power, and it is not the People's Party which came into power in the 70s with the reform agenda. It's an extreme right-wing party with a total domination by the imperialist agenda. And they have implemented every aspect of new liberal agenda. For instance, they got $9 billion loan from IMF. Because Americans and the Europeans, when Zardari came to power, husband of Benazir Bhutto, after her death, Zardari was known as Mr. 10% from 88 to 90. Then People's Party came into power from 94 to 96. He became Mr. 50%. And now when he is in power, he is 100% because he is president of Pakistan. And when I look a person like Zardari as President of Pakistan, I also feel shame inside that I am Pakistani, a person who is involved in murders, who is involved in corruption, who is involved in all sort of conspiracies, has become the President of Pakistan through any means. And that sort of, and not only him, but it's a whole clique which has come into power. And this clique of Zardari has been involved in every sector to pinch money. And there is no end of their greed. They are very rich people. They are absolute rich people. But they want more money. We don't know why they want even more money what they have. For instance, we estimated that Zardari might have over 100 billion rupees in his banks in different bank accounts and so on. And there is no end. They still want to have some more, and now there is a very shortage of electricity. There is a shortage of electricity, but there is also an increase of electricity price because of the condition of the IMF. IMF said, you want a loan? Okay, you can get, but you have to withdraw all the state subsidies on electricity, on railway, on PIA, and state should not spend money. State should earn money. And these subsidies must end. You must increase your income. And to increase income, you must stop this support system, not to the people, but to institution, and that should also end. And 65% increase in the electricity price when there is no electricity. So when we receive a bill, double of the last year, while there is no electricity for 10 to 16 hours a day. Where I live, when I left, it was 47 degrees, and there was no electricity for 10 hours on that special day, on 31st of May. And it is even worse in the villages. It's a terrible life. It's hot, and there's no electricity. People are just jumping in the water. There's only one canal in Lahore. Thousands and thousands of youth are jumping into water just to avoid the heat. There are buffaloes, there are horses, there are donkeys, and there are men taking shower at the same time in this canal, because there is no other place to go. And that sort of condition, it has been under People's Party. People's Party has become very unpopular in the last 2 years. And we have seen from the results of different elections. And there was an election on 15th of May, last month, a by-election in Faisalabad, and our party also contested election and took part in that.